This is The Morgan Show. Morgan White Jr. Call 617-254-1030. Join the group and hang out with Morgan on WBZ News Radio 1030.
Happy New Year, everybody. I hope you had a safe and happy New Year's Eve. You started off 2022 as safely as you could. And now let's cross our fingers that the next 364 days, well, 64 and a smidgen, will be much better than the past 2 years of 2020 and 2021. I have a jewel of a pair of guests tonight, the Winikers. You've heard about them, maybe you've seen them, and they have been entertaining people all over America for decades. And I'm lucky enough to have them here on my first show of 2022. Bill and Bo, sign in and say hello.
Happy New Year, Morgan.
Happy New Year to all of your listeners as well. Happy New Year, everyone. It's an honor for us to be with you tonight. Thank you so much for that beautiful introduction.
All right, and anyone who wants to call in, two people have already beaten you to the telephones, 617-254-1030, and that'll do for the Boston area. If you're calling from Illinois, Wisconsin, as one of our callers on hold is, New York, Pennsylvania, whatever you have, 888-929-1030, and I've got so many things to cover. I had Dr. Rhonda Gooddill on earlier this week when I was filling in for Dan Ray, and she wanted me to send a hello to both of you because she loves seeing you. It's not Brothers anymore. It's called Velo, correct?
That's correct.
And we'll talk about that venue shortly. So she wanted me to pass on a hello to you. And we've only got one open line. Already 3 people have queued up to speak to the Winikers. So let me say first, did you have a show last night?
We did. We actually had 2 shows. We played in the afternoon at a really nice assisted living facility, and we did New Year's Eve in the afternoon for them, put on a nice concert. It was really heartwarming. And then we went to Velo and played for 4 hours, played from 8 to midnight. Actually, we played a little past midnight, and it was so much fun. It was great. Bo,
what I remember about last night, Morgan, is as I looked around the restaurant, so many people were smiling and so many people were happy last night. I mean, we've had a hard time finding those smiles recently, but
right.
It was a happy night last night, and it was a good omen and a good sign for better days to come in the new year.
Well, I'm happy for you for doing what you do best, and you do it so comfortably. You entertained. It's not just playing the instruments. It's not
it's a thrill. It's a thrill to play the music and see the music come alive and to see people respond to it. We had a lot of dancing last night. People were just up out of their seats and they were dancing to all kinds of music. We were playing just a multitude of different styles of music last night, and people were up dancing and having fun, and that really touched our heart last night. Morgan, as a matter of fact, Bill's got a very interesting story for you to start our program. Yeah, Bill.
So, Morgan, I just wanted to talk for a minute or two about the power of radio and what has happened because of our appearances on your show. The last show we did with you, I can't remember exactly when that was, but Jean, a nurse from Brookline, called that night.
She's on hold now.
Yeah. Really?
Yep.
Okay, well, let me tell you what happened. So Jean called that night, and she was very nice. She said, "This sounds so great. I'm going to come and see you someday." So not only did she come and see us right after that, but she has never missed an appearance by us since that show 3 or 4 months ago. She's made it every single time, and she listens intently to every note. I mean, she just loves it so much, and that's the power of radio. And then Glenn has never missed a night now since we've been on your show.
Glenn
And
from
Rhonda,
Brighton? Glenn from
Yeah.
Brighton? Yeah.
And Rhonda has made every show so far. It's all because of being on your show. These people come every single time we play now, and we love them all. They're great people.
I'm happy to hear that. Tell you what, let me take a call, then by the time we finish with the call, it'll be time for a break, and then we will hit the ground running for the remaining calls. And I tell people now, whenever they are on Bill and Bo Winiker, the phone lines go crazy. Anticipate me hanging up, because there's a 7-second time delay. So when you hear me say goodbye, that means 7 seconds ago I said goodbye. So try to play that game and use that to be your incentive to dial the phone numbers. But right now, we're going to go to Texas and speak to Gauze. Did I pronounce that right, Gauze?
Yeah, you pronounced it right.
Okay. Welcome aboard. Happy New Year.
Thank you very much, Morgan. We've talked before. I called in when the Winikers were on before, and I love to call in when you have them on. They're just incredible musicians. I've already heard a lot of people talking. I've read online. I talked to a few people who were there last night when they played, and they had a big band there last night. It's usually just a Winiker Jazz Trio, which is kind of misleading, Jazz Trio, because they play more than jazz. These guys can play anything.
Oh, I know that. I've seen them. I know that.
And they're just two of the nicest human beings that I have ever met. There is no ego with these men. They're always willing to reach out and help in any way they can to educate and to mentor people, especially young people starting in the music business. And they're just wonderful men. I'm just so happy to know them. And they've been so good to me over the years. Such an encouragement, such an inspiration for me to carry on with my own music pursuits.
Gauze, very kind words. And gentlemen, do you have anything you want to say to Gauze?
We love Gauze. He is an incredible musician himself. He's a wonderful singer. He's a wonderful actor. He's an incredible graphic designer. That man there from Texas has helped us more than he will ever know. He's been an inspiration to us, and I feel like he's got more talent in his body than Bill and myself combined.
And Gauze, I bet you're kind of smiling when you hear a compliment like that.
I want to crawl under my desk, and because they are much too generous with their compliments. They are the ones who inspire. They are the ones who encourage, and anything that they compliment me about, because they have been so deserving as people and as human beings. They are just wonderful people. I love both of you guys. And you keep going.
Right back at you.
Feelings mutual.
Now, Gauze hit on a real important subject that we're not going to get into right now, but we are going to talk about this a little later in the evening, Morgan, and that is Bill and I have been mentoring musicians since the 1970s. We've worked with hundreds of musicians. Some of them are very famous now, and some of them have brilliant careers in music, and that's just something that Bill and I have naturally come upon. My dad was our mentor many, many years ago, and so we have just, even in our little apartment in Brookline, we used to have musicians over all the time, these students from the New England Conservatory and Berklee College of Music. We'd play music, and we would teach these guys how to play the kind of swing music that we were playing at the time at the Parker House Hotel, and we put them to work. And many of these people keep in touch with us year after year, and some of them say to us, we learn more in your workshops than we learned at our school in colleges. So we're just so grateful. and it's just part of giving back, so Gauze, thank you so much for bringing that up, and we'll talk about that a little more, Morgan, if that's okay, later in the program.
Oh, we got plenty of time. Gauze, thank you for being the first call of the night, and Happy New Year.
Thank you, Morgan. I appreciate it, and it was nice to see you on Boomtown so many years ago.
Oh, my goodness. You've got a good memory. A good memory. Take care, Gauze.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Oh, my goodness. He remembers me on Boomtown. I didn't have the beard back then. So, and I have a Karen, a Jean, a Marsha, and a Glenn all ready to speak with you guys. Let me take my break. I'll give the phone numbers again, 617-254-1030, 888-929-1030. Use either number you choose. Andrew Rich is my producer tonight, and I'm about to throw it to him to have a break. Here we go. 9:17, 47 degrees. For being patient, welcome back. I want to say we have full lines for the Winikers. Bill and Bo are here. A lot of you have had them entertain for you. One of their shows, going back to their days at the Parker House. Maybe, just maybe, you had them for a private function. Here's a chance to call in and chat with them again. Karen in Wisconsin. I'm amazed you're calling so early. You usually call at the very end of the show. Happy New Year, Karen.
How are? Oh, just a minute. Hello?
We're here.
Okay. I wanted to make sure I wasn't on speaker.
No.
I had it all set up to have the two next door neighbors, the little drummer boys, talk with Bill and Bo. Unfortunately, I have someone listening in on my phone and my computer and possibly my house. So I am alone here, and you're coming through the radio. We are having a snowstorm, and I'm getting you through Sea Crane Radio. Not well, but good enough. And so I want to say hello to the Winikers, and we'll try to get the little drummer boys next time.
Oh, you've got drummers that live next door to you, and their children. How old are these kids?
The 16-year-old and 19. They were young when I moved here. They've grown, but they played more. I guess it was more like bongos, or but they have sticks. And Ruben was very excited to get to talk, but they're not feeling well. And then this happened to me.
Okay.
And until I can figure out what to do about it,
we'll make it happen.
Making it. I mean. Being tapped like this is not fun.
We will make it happen because
yes.
Bill and Bo love to be inspirational to young musicians.
And that's why they were going to be on.
We're going to talk to them the next time we're on. We'll talk to them, and it'll be fun.
Yes, I will be happy. So I am here to tell them, to tell Bill and Bo how much I love them and their music. And, I won't take a lot of time because so others can, but I want to let them know why they aren't on. And I will,
Karen, let me give you a heads up. I will have them on again in March. I try to have an every other month or every 2 months commitment by my favorite guest, of which Bill and Bo happen to be. So it's January. Wait till March, and I'll have them back.
Okay, and I'll arrange it again. And I love you, Bill and Bo, and I love your music, and I'm so happy, and I hope to get out there. I'm getting repetitive with that line, aren't I?
Yes, you do.
No, that's okay, but
you're coming back. You're coming back.
We hope I get back to to visit or to live. I have people in Boston working on it now because they want me out, especially.
Yeah, but listen, Bo's coming to see you. What's the date, Bo?
I'm coming out the last week of June to do a series of concerts.
In
That
Wisconsin?
is wonderful.
Yeah, I'll be out in Madison. Yes,
You
I
will
will.
be in Madison.
Yeah, and I'll be
Is
with
Bo?
yeah, this is Bo on the line. I'll be doing some
Okay.
concerts for the Bach. Let me see who else. The Dancing and Dynamite Society. That we'll be doing some concerts out there.
So we'll write to you about it, and we'll give you all the information.
Yeah.
So
Well, I'll be back online. I'm not going to be bullied. I'm not going to be bullied and get off my everything. If this is so interesting to be heard by a neighbor that they want to do this, well, then entertain them, But
in March, talk to the boys, and we'll send you the information on Bo coming to Wisconsin.
thanks. Now
Karen,
I'll be on there more often.
Karen, thank you for
I
the
will.
call, and Happy New Year.
I love you too, Morgan, and you guys. Okay. I'll be in touch. Thanks.
Good night. Okay. Good night now.
Good night.
Okay.
Good night.
And you mentioned this lady earlier. Here she is, Jean in Brookline.
Hi, Bo. Hi, Bill. Hi, Morgan.
Hello.
How are you?
Happy
Long
New Year.
time no see, like last night. Happy New Year. Now, I wanted to be first, but my system did not work. But it usually works, so I'm not going to tell you what my system is because somebody might steal it.
Okay.
And as people said, you're normally a trio. You can't forget Neil.
No, not at all.
No, it's normally at the restaurant. It's Neil, Bill, and Bo. But last night we brought in
Right.
the core of our full party band that we play at weddings with and corporate events. So we did every kind of music under the sun, and you were there, and it was a thrill to
Oh,
look
yeah.
out.
I mean, you guys did big band. You like swing. You did jazz. You did like bubblegum. You did the Beatles. You did Carole King.
We
I could
did.
just keep going on. And like you said, people would do like they were dancing in the street. You did some stuff from West Side Story also.
Oh,
yeah,
we
it
did
was
a
like,
Motown set.
yes,
did everything. We made it a party.
you made it well and truly a wonderful party. And it's my favorite thing now to do on Sunday nights. And so I will probably see you on Sunday night. And I just want to give a plug for the restaurant, for you guys, obviously, because you're amazing. I've never been so entertained in my entire life or look forward to seeing somebody, musicians. I mean, I did see the Beach Boys once, but I don't know. It's a tough choice between you and the Beach Boys. But you did a
Whoa.
Beach Boys song. That's also, I remember
Good
that.
competition, the Beach Boys.
Yeah, they really are. And they did it well and truly wonderful. And it's just, you guys are wonderful. And that's all I can say. But you guys are fine. People don't show up. They're missing something wonderful. And also Bella's Restaurant, sometimes if you just want to go out and have a really great meal and listen to really great music, go to Velo's, 404 Harvard Street in Brookline. You'll get both of them.
Bill and Bo, Jean, I guess, has taken the job as your publicist.
Well, we love her, and we're in very, very good hands with her. And she really is getting up to being close to our number one fan.
Well, I know a lot of your
Yep.
fans, and I think Dr. Goodale will give Jean a run for her money.
Oh, absolutely. We
And
love
Morgan,
them both.
Yes?
Morgan, you should come to some Sunday.
I've
I mean, I
been.
know you do other things in your life. Oh, not since I've been there. I would recognize you. I saw your picture one time in the newspaper.
Oh, there you go.
You're quite a handsome gent, but I've never seen you there since I've been going.
Oh,
You must come sooner.
All right. Tell you what, Jean, I promise you, I will be there sometime this winter, which gives me a little wiggle room.
It does give you a lot of wiggle room.
Okay.
If you can't find me and I come, you ask Bo or Bill, where's Jean, and they can point me out because I'm usually sitting at their table.
Well, if you see a handsome black man in a cowboy hat, that would be me.
Oh, the cowboy hat, way to go.
All right.
Hey, Gene. Thank you so much for calling in tonight and with all the wonderful feedback, the most positive feedback about our music. We love you, and thank you so much. Happy and healthy New Year to you.
Yes, I will probably see you on Sunday.
Happy New Year, Gene. Take care and thank you for the
Happy New
call.
Year.
Bye-bye.
Yeah. All right, bye-bye.
All right, I'm going to take my news hit, and when we come back, Marsha, Glenn, David, and too late. Somebody's already dialed in on that line. Andrew is screening them as we speak. So let me throw to the news. The time and the temperature, 9:30, 47 degrees. If you have just tuned in, you're late. Where have you been? We start the Morgan Show sharply at 9 o'clock, and we end at midnight. The Winikers are here, Bill and Bo. Name a style or a type of music, and they have mastery over that. You want to go jazz, you want to go swing, you want to go pop, you want to go tripping the light fantastic back to the 60s and 70s. They do it all and more. Their fan club has taken over my phone lines. So let's go to Chelsea and speak to Marsha. Marsha, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you. It's awfully nice to get to know about you, Morgan. I was not aware of what you do and who you are. So it's very interesting and fun to hear what your background is with trivia and hosting parties and so on. I was there last night, and we have done New Year's Eve a few times with the Winikers, and it's just an effervescent evening, besides eating the best food you can possibly want. But I felt like I was part of the band. I was sitting next to the young drummer that is a student of Bill's. Is that true?
That's right. That's my student, and he's doing so well. We brought him into play, and he played right along with me.
I was so impressed with him. He was totally focused. He didn't chit-chat. A couple swings he said to me, and he was just totally focused and on it. He just was right in there, and I was how is he in high school?
He's 16 years old, and I've never seen anyone so engrossed in what he's doing. He's just 100% about music.
Yes, that's what I thought, too. He wasn't spacing out, or he was in there. He was right in there. So that was pretty exciting to see him, and our table was just right on top of his drum. So he was really concentrating and didn't get distracted by us whatsoever. I actually wanted you to talk about your dad more. I know that he trained you, but it was such an unusual time and circumstance. Did he teach music in the house? Is that what you said, at home?
Well, first of all, we have to go back a little bit with my dad. He was a gentleman farmer. He grew up on a large he grew up on a large poultry farm in Millis, Massachusetts. Went off to college in Alabama, the University of Alabama, studied pre-med, and was accepted at Tufts. He was accepted at Tufts Medical School. You have to hear the background on my father because he was very interested in that.
That's unbelievable. Yeah.
And so he was just a few months away from starting medical school, and his father, 52 years of age, who ran the farm, had a massive coronary and passed away. And my father, being the eldest of 4 children, he had to give up aspirations for medicine and come home and run the farm with his uncle.
Right.
But in addition to that, my father had studied piano as a young boy and became a musician. He had his first band in 1939. And my father was well known all over New England for his music and for his bands. He had a lot of different accounts that he played year after year. He played at a lot of weddings. And so my father had a dream. And my father's dream was someday he was going to have a family band which would consist of himself playing the piano. My mother would play the string bass, and she was very surprised when she got a bass fiddle for Mother's Day quite a few years ago. I've told this story on air before, but it's worth telling again.
Yes.
She was expecting a washer and dryer that year, and she got a bass fiddle, and she didn't talk to my father for a week. She was so upset about the fact that she was now going to become a string bass player. So she was the bass player. my brother used to bang on pots and pans in our house.
Uh-huh. Okay.
And so my dad knew that he was going to be a percussionist, and I had a lot of hot air. And so I became a trumpet player. And so Bill was getting pretty proficient on the drums. He had a teacher. We were growing up in Millis, Mass., but Bill was taken to Milford, Mass., and studied with a great drummer, Bob Varney. And Bill studied with him, and I was also studying with a classical trumpet teacher. But every single night, Bill actually tells this story much better than I do, and I think I'm going to put Bill on now to tell you how we'd all get together in the music room.
Well, let me ask you really quickly, Bo. Can I ask you, so was he still taking care of the farm and doing music? Or did
he was.
He was.
In the early stages, he was. Until in the mid 1950s. Wait a minute.
Hurricane
Caroline came along and it blew the farm away, and so that was the end of the farm. My father had a big root after that, and he did poultry research after that. A lot of interesting things, but he started pretty much devoting a lot of time to the family. And Bill's going to tell you how we became the musicians that we are today.
All right, I'm going to hold. Wait, Marcia, hold on. I'm going to hold that part of the story to the next hour. So I want to give the people that are on hold now a chance to get in.
Okay. Well, I wanted you to specifically emphasize, both my husband and I are musicians, and, it's a truism that people, when you go to college, they say there are two kinds of musicians, those whose parents wanted you to become a musician and those whose parents did not want you to become a musician. So I think it was really unique, and I want to hear how your father came to that and had such faith in how, what kind of profession was to be expected.
We'll cover that beginning after the 10 o'clock hour.
I'll be here.
Morgan, I want to say one more thing to Marcia before you leave.
Go ahead.
I had the greatest time last night watching you just enjoy yourself beyond measure. You were singing along with almost every song we played last night, and you have a beautiful voice, by the way.
Oh, thank you. Well, I was singing like in the chest voice and below, just kind of singing the ways I would never sing in public. But very, very quickly, my husband tore his tendon in late September, and he got up last night. He had to have surgery. He's 75, and that tendon has healed. He asked me to dance last night. So I will remember last night for the rest of my life because he was able to stand up on that leg. So it was a big, big thing for us. I appreciate all the music you gave us.
Marcia, thank you for the call, and Happy New Year to you and your husband.
Going. Okay, Morgan. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. And guess who is here? That blind piano tuner from Brighton, Glenn. See, Glenn, I said your intro so you don't have to say it.
Thank you. I'm a little depressed. I didn't know you guys were playing last night. I would have came. I would have had a peppermint mudslide with Jeannie. I didn't know you guys did Beatles and Carole King. I never heard you do it. I would have loved last night. I mean, wish someone had called me and told me you were playing.
I'm so sorry you didn't know. They advertised that a long time ago, and it sold out after about a day or two. It just sold out.
Oh, well, who say? I didn't hear it advertised. Did you guys?
Well, they put it on their website.
Oh, I don't have a computer. I'm a troglodyte. I called for two things. Number one, my birthday is January 23rd. I'll be 69, and you guys happen to be playing that night.
Well,
wonderful.
We're gonna make it special for you.
Oh, thank you. Also, I thought of you last Monday night. It's Monday night at 7 o'clock. There's a chat line, and they take music requests. And someone requested a Cactus. There was a progressive rock band called Cactus in the 70s, and their drummer is Carmen Appice. So I thought of you.
Oh, I love Carmen. Great.
Yeah, and. So that, and see, I had a third thing, and I can't remember it.
You should jot these things down to prevent that from happening.
Well, you know what it is. I've been dialing, and I finally got through. I couldn't. You guys were smoking lines from the get-go.
And they're still full lines. The line that Marshall was on has already been taken by a call from St. Louis.
Yeah, you guys on to midnight or 11?
I'm going to keep them to midnight, whether they know it or not.
Oh, no. We don't know it, but if we can stay awake, we will. But
okay. So now that we answered all of your questions, Glenn, is there a fourth?
Well, actually, that was the... will you play Carole King and Beatles on my birthday?
We will. Absolutely.
I know I have no right to ask, but I swear to God, I didn't know you were there. I mean, it sounded like you had a real good crowd last night.
Yeah, we had a fun time.
Was it a full packed house?
Yeah, we had a good crowd. Very good.
Yeah.
So Sunday the 23rd, you'll be there. John, George, Paul, and Ringo will be there.
And
that's right.
And Carole King will be there.
Yeah, the guy from he's from Marshall. His name is Wayne. He's the one whose horse died. He used to call Bradley J. He's going to treat me to my. He's going to come up from not Marshall, Kingston, and he's going to treat me to my birthday.
Okay, well, if everybody's looking forward to that.
Yeah.
We'll talk soon. Glenn calls me pretty regularly, so we'll talk and figure everything out, Glenn.
But thanks for putting a plug for me. I'm one of your number one fans, too. We're going to have a lightsaber duel. I'm a Jedi Knight.
Right, you are a top fan.
Yeah.
All right, Glenn. Thank you for calling.
Oh, yeah, that's what, very quickly. I remember what it was. They gave me dessert, and I don't know if it's called a ramekin or a ramekin. But I came up with a character, Ramekin Skinwalker, as opposed to Anakin Skywalker. You know the Skinwalker Ranch in Nevada?
I've heard of it.
Yeah, the land of fun, sun, sin, sex, and secrets.
I've heard of it. I've never been there, but I have heard of it.
Glenn, this is a family show.
No, I know, but Morgan is going to Nevada frequently. Oh, you went to the Barbary Coast.
Well, Barbary Coast doesn't exist anymore. The hotel that stands on that property is called the Cromwell.
Yeah, you told me about that
a
couple of years ago. You and Larry the Flower Guy told me about it.
Yep.
All right.
Okay. Glenn, Happy New Year, and thank you for calling.
Yeah, you knew I had to call. I waited all week for this.
Okay.
I purposely didn't even call Terry Carter. I was going to call, but I thought, nope, I'm waiting till Saturday.
Fair enough. You could have called Dan when I had Terry Carter on.
I know. I was going to tell him about my favorite McCloud episode about the police went on strike, but when he was Joe Broadhurst.
No.
Oh, yeah, when you wear, that's what it was. You wear a Stetson, you wear a cowboy hat. Is it like the one McCloud wore?
Yes.
But I wish I could see it.
His is kind of a beigeish color. Mine is black.
Oh, cool. Well, I wear
a turquoise headband.
Oh, I'd love to have one that would match my black outfit.
Okay, well, it matches my black outfit, and now I'm going to say...
That's funny. All right, you guys are cool. Love all of you.
Hey, Glenn, thanks very much for calling in tonight.
Yeah, and thanks for taking my call, too. I love talking to you guys when you're on.
Take care, Glenn.
Right, we will see you on the 23rd.
Yeah, and of course the 9th. That's not tomorrow, but the week from tomorrow night.
Week from tomorrow.
Yep. Say bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
There goes Glenn. One open line. I'm going to take my break now. If you want that open line, 617-254-1030 or 888-929-1030. Grab it. Time and temperature here on BZ, 9:47. Coincidentally, 47 degrees. It's rare that I see the phones just explode. Literally, I can't count to 3 once somebody hangs up that a new caller has taken that vacant line. And now let's go to another Brookline resident, David in Brookline. Good evening, David. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, Morgan. Happy New Year, Bill. Happy New Year, Bo. It's David and Nancy Fisher. We're here.
Hello.
We've been
Nancy Fisher. David. Oh, my God. You are the two best dancers in Brookline.
Well, it's only because we have good music. So we've been together now, Nancy and I, 40 years.
Oh, congratulations.
And we have been dancing. We started as disco dancers, and then we moved into ballroom, and we moved into swing. And for 40 years, we've been dancing to the Winikers at the Last Hurrah. We've had Valentine's Day at the Old Ritz. We've been New Year's Eve several times at the Pops at Symphony Hall. Even once at the Brookline Pancake Breakfast, where when Bo was out there, we surprised him. There's a group in Boston, a bunch of swing and Lindy Hop and Charleston dancers called the Boston Lindy Bomb Squad. And Bo didn't know we were doing this, but we had arranged for them to all show up at the Rotary Pancake Breakfast. And, Bo gets up and he has all his high school musicians, and they start playing. I think it was In the Mood. And suddenly 20, 25 people just jumped up and started doing Lindy Hop and Charleston, and some people got on a table and were dancing. And the whole room was just there kind of going, what the hell is going on here? And then at the end, we had this whole picture of the whole group of us with Bo in the middle, which is actually on the Facebook page of the Lindy Bomb Squad. So it was
let me tell you, that was just unbelievable. We've been doing those pancake breakfasts for close to 30 years, and that was the most exciting one of all. It just brings an incredible smile to my face when you share that story with all the listeners tonight, because what a night, what a morning that was. And let me share some exciting news with you on April 9th. If that is a Saturday, we're going to have the pancake breakfast again, sponsored by the Brookline Rotary Club. So wouldn't it be great if we could get the Bomb Squad together again?
I heard your wife in the background.
One thing Lindy Hoppers like, beside Lindy hopping, is pancakes. So it is a pretty good chance we can get them out there.
I can't wait for this year's pancake breakfast, and thank you for sharing all of those stories. We love it. Our faces light up like Christmas bulbs when we see the two of you, and you guys just can really turn it on, boy. You can dance the fastest tempos. I think we have to go back to Irene and Vernon Castle in the early 1900s when they would dance, at rapid speed tempos. You guys got them beat.
Yeah, it is. It is pretty good. What most people don't realize is Marie, Bill's wife, was a Lindy Hopper herself. And back in the 90s, we were all together doing a show, a dance show. We were there. We were doing the Viennese Waltz as an exhibition. And Marie gets out with her partner, Richard, and they start doing this Lindy Hop, Charleston, flying around. And he grabbed her and threw her probably 10 feet in the air, and went over his head. And he turned around and came down. And she came down and landed right on the beat. And immediately went into this whole kick routine. And that every time I see Maria, I always say to her, I said, I can't even believe you landed on time, considering you weren't the one who was doing the throwing. Boy, it was pretty impressive.
That's another great story. Thanks for sharing.
Yeah, I want to tell you one thing, Morgan. These two,
yes,
I don't know how old they are, but they can outdance the 18, 19, and 20-year-olds. It's amazing the energy you two have.
Well, they save their energy for your dates.
We got a major birthday coming up in January. Can I say the age or no? We're on radio.
Go right ahead.
A major decade is soon to be passed here for Nancy. I'm just a little bit behind her. But,
what is it?
Oh, go ahead, tell me.
Nancy's going to be 70 on January 14th.
Yes, see, this is my point. My point, though, here is, so Nancy's going to be 70, but the two of you dance like you're 20.
Yeah.
It's incredible.
We've been dancing to you guys forever. Most fans, as they get older, they slow down, but you guys are playing faster and faster, so we had to bring our A game whenever you're there.
That's so funny, but we like to play a lot of different speeds. It all depends what kind of a mood we're trying to create. Yeah,
David,
when you get
David,
so when you get up over 200 beats a minute, we find we have the dance floor all to ourselves. So it makes it You don't have to worry as much about floor craft at the super fast speeds.
All right, David, thank you for the call. I want to try to get one more on before I have to take a news hit. So
thanks so much.
Okay.
We'll see you on.
Bye-bye.
We'll see you on April 9th.
Happy New Year.
Yep.
All right, let's go to Phil in St. Louis. Happy New Year.
Good evening. Well, Happy New Year to all. And Bo and Bill, I'm not sure if you recognize my voice, but you talked earlier about...
You know what, Morgan? This is a Millis guy. That's Phil Nicholson.
Oh, my God.
Well, very good. Bill, you got a hell of a memory.
Did you say Nicholson or Nicholson?
Nicholson. I wish it was the other, but no.
Oh,
okay. So I knew you guys were going to be on. I wanted to call.
It's so great to hear your voice, Phil. Wow, Phil and I graduated Millis High School together. We're from Millis High School, and nobody could be prouder. If you don't believe us, we'll yell a little louder.
I've heard that before.
Earlier, you were mentioning your dad, and of course, I knew your dad so well, and the farm in Millis. But you may not recall that over 50 years ago, I guess it was probably 51 years ago, you guys were playing a New Year's Eve gig in Vermont someplace, and you had been held over from Christmas. And Bo called me, and your dad was still working for Gretsch Musical Instruments. And he needed to get his mail picked up because there were some orders in the mail that he needed. And so you guys asked me to pick up the mail and drive it up to Vermont. And if I'd do that, you'd put me up for the night, and I could spend New Year's Eve listening to the Winikers at a lodge in Vermont. I don't remember the place, but I remember driving up there and having a grand New Year's Eve. And
how could you refuse that offer?
That's exactly right, and that led to Point Sebago in Maine and many of the other times that we were together enjoying the incredible music you guys produced.
I'm telling you, my face is hurting. I'm just so happy to hear your voice and to hear those stories again. I remember them vividly. It was the Andirons in Vermont and Point Sebago, and you followed us around wherever we played, and you've been an incredible fan and an incredible fan. Not only you, but your entire family. So great to hear your voice.
And Bill and Bo, you played at both of my weddings. The second one lasted quite a bit longer. I've been married 31 years now to my lovely wife Judy, and you played at our wedding up at Wachusett Mountain Lodge.
Well, the first one was practice to make sure you get it right.
Yeah, that's exactly it. Always is. Yeah. That's right.
All right, now, gentlemen, I hate to do it, but I've got news chomping at the bit to come to the microphone. So, Phil, thank you for calling. Happy New Year to you.
Great to hear from you.
And we will get to the backstory about the Winikers' father and how he was instrumental in getting them interested in music. But time and temperature, 9:59, 47 degrees.
This is The Morgan Show. Morgan White Jr. Call 617-254-1030. Join the group and hang out with Morgan on WBZ News Radio 1030.
Full lines. For one straight hour, nothing but full lines. 3 people are on hold. I'm talking to the 4th one. They eventually say goodbye, and before I can count to 3, someone has taken that vacant line. Now, for Kim, you will be next. And after you, Bob. And after Bob, Dan in Texas, and then Peter in Rhode Island. But I want to give my guests, the Winikers, Bill and Bo, a chance to finish that story about how their father was instrumental, no pun intended, in getting them involved in music as a vocation. So I do believe Bill was going to continue that story. After Bill finishes the story, we'll go back to the phones. Don't hang up. You've already been put in queue. But Bill Winiker, the floor is yours.
Okay, I'm going to drop back just a little tiny bit because when Bo and I were really young, my father thought we should have piano lessons. And he didn't want to give them to us because it's not always easy to teach your own. So he got us a nice piano teacher, and we both took the lessons. I think we were a little too young because we hated it. Both of us hated it, and we quit. And that made my father really sad because he figured there was no hope of us ever becoming musicians. But the real reason that Bo played trumpet was because in the 4th grade, we finally got a music program in Millis. We only had 5,000 people in our town when we were in school. It's grown a little bit, but they came around and demonstrated all the musical instruments because they hired a full-time music teacher, and we were going to have a band and orchestra and everything. So they demonstrated all the instruments. Some company came out with clinicians. Somebody played the trumpet, and someone played the flute and the saxophone and drums, all the instruments. And Bo came home from school that day, and he said to my father, "I want to play the trumpet." And my father was ecstatic. I mean, there's hope. So my father got him a trumpet immediately. Most people rent an instrument to see if their kids are going to take to it, but he bought him a trumpet right away. And then I said, well, I want to take drum lessons. And so they got Bo a teacher. My father got Bo a teacher, a nice classical trumpet teacher, and me a drum teacher in Milford, Mass. And a year later, my father bought my mother a bass, an acoustic bass for Mother's Day.
Instead of a washer and dryer.
Exactly. And so, but he got her a teacher too. It's too long a story to get into the way she didn't talk to him for a while after that. But so we're all taking these classical lessons, learning how to really play these instruments. And after school, we'd go to our rooms and do that. But we didn't like that. I mean, we never loved that. But what my father did was he took us into a room in our house. We lived in a 10-room farmhouse, and he played a chord on the piano, and that was our call to come to that room. And every single night, 7 nights a week, we rehearsed with him as a band for 2 to 3 hours. And the first thing we did was learn one jazz tune and how to improvise on it. So every night a new tune and teaching us how to improvise. Then he'd teach us all kinds of other music, ballroom dance music, waltzes, foxtrots, Latin American music like a cha-cha and a rumba. And he also said we have to keep up with whatever's going on in music. So he asked us to listen to the radio every day a little bit after school and find things we liked and bring them to his attention, and he would write them out for us. So we learned to play all kinds of pop and rock and roll as the songs kept coming along through the 60s and 70s. And so we rehearsed for 3 hours a night. After 1 year, we were a really good-sounding band. And my father, who had a band at that time and had a band since 1939, gave his men notice, and we became his band. And Bo was 10 at the time. I was 13, and my mother was 36. And it was just unbelievable. We showed up. He had these accounts. He had the Franklin Country Club monthly dance, the Glen Ellen Country Club monthly dance, and we would show up. And I remember showing up at the Glen Ellen Country Club for the first time, and Bo was like a little midget at the time with a crew cut. And the club manager said, "Where's the band, Eddie? Where's your band?" And my father said, "This is the band." The guy, he was irate. He was very, very disappointed. 2 kids and a mother. So my father said, "Look, you don't have to pay us if the members don't love the music. It's on the house." And at the end of the night, everyone crowded around us and clapped and applauded. And from then on, we never had another problem. But I think back that, my father also did a lot of weddings. And at 10 years of age, my brother was announcing bridal parties and the bride's 25 or 26, 27, and Bo's little pipsqueak is announcing the bridal party. That must have been weird. But that's how it all happened. Playing 2 or 3 hours a night, we advanced at like 10 times the rate that you can advance that.
And, when Bill and I got to our conservatories in Boston after graduating from high school, we were already professional musicians. We had a big advantage because we had been performing for so many years before we got to college. So that's the story.
And being paid.
Yeah, we were making money back then.
We made it. You didn't make much back then. You maybe made $20 a night. This was back in the 1960s. But Bo and I each saved up enough money to buy ourselves cars. So when we went to college, used cars, but we went to college and we both had a car, and the other students didn't have cars. So,
Bo, do you still have that first trumpet?
Something, I think I do have it. I pretty much have been using one of my horns, especially my flugelhorn. It looks like a relic. It looks like it's been around for years and years. It's all tarnished and beat up a little bit, but I'll never trade it in because I love the sound.
Right.
I love the sound of that horn. So just to close out this segment and get back to more calls, my brother and I, we owe our father a tremendous debt of gratitude for sharing his love of music with us. I could only imagine back then when we formed the Winiker family band, which was in '62, that there were a lot of fathers that probably would rather go out on weekends and hang with their cronies than be around their family on the weekends. But my dad wanted to be around his family, and wow, what an amazing thing. And what a gift! And we always in every one of our concerts we remember our father. I actually, when he passed away 25 years ago, I wrote a hymn for my father, and sometimes on some of our performances I play it, and it's also on one of our CDs as well. So I'm glad we were able to share that information, which was holdover from last hour, and let's move forward.
All right, now. I'm going to take a break, and then the phone lines will, and again, first call will be Kim. Kim, don't you dare hang up. Then it will be Bob in Westwood, Dan in Texas, and Peter in Rhode Island. That's the order. So you are all set in queue. Do not hang up. But gentlemen, I have a request, and this is a toughie, as I used to say with Mel Simons when he was on. This is a toughie. There's a bit of music, and you can find it if you look up the Carl Stallings project. Carl Stallings was a leader at Warner Brothers. He led the Warner Brothers Orchestra, and a lot of the classic Looney Tunes cartoons, it was his orchestration. There's a song called Powerhouse.
Yeah, we have it. We used to play that at the Parker House where we had a 6-piece band. We have that arrangement, and we played it all the time.
When I come down sometime this winter, I want to hear Powerhouse.
Okay, that's going to be difficult, but we'll try to get into the big...
I'm giving you time to find your music and arrangement for it. Bum 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 ba ba da 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 ba da 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 ba ba bum.
We'll learn it. We'll relearn it.
See, our arrangement is written for a trumpet and 2 saxophones, so it's a lot of parts there. But we'll have to just figure out how to reduce it. We actually play it all the time.
I'm looking forward to it. Let me take my break, and these callers get the chance to speak with Bill and Bo Winiker here on The Morgan Show. Heard only on WBZ. Time and temperature, 10:16, 47 degrees. Welcome back, everybody. And again, I'm going to try to accelerate my normal pacing. Bill and Bo, yes? What?
Here we're back. Here we are.
Yeah, okay. Let's go to Kim in Boston. She's waited a half hour to speak to you, gentlemen. Kim, thank you for your patience. Happy New Year.
Oh, Happy New Year, Morgan Jr. My God, your show's amazing.
Well, thank you.
And the Winiker boys, I'll tell you, I don't have to say any more because actually I haven't stopped smiling since I put the radio on. And everybody said everything. Not only are they amazing in person, and I've known them since I was a little girl, and they're actually making me smile through the radio. That's the charisma, the charm. You boys know who I am, correct?
This is Kim from Boston.
Yeah, remember at the Parker House with Bonnie Raitt, Jeff Beck, Rod Stewart?
You know what? That night with Bonnie Raitt was a thrilling night. She stood right.
James Montgomery
band.
And Barbara Holiday were there too.
Yeah, I remember that, and I remember.
But I was the one who made them get up and dance because I'm the dancer, and I was. This show has been amazing. I love those dancers that have been following you. I can't wait to see them dance. I think I might have seen them at one of your shows.
Wait, Kim, you live right near us in Brookline.
I lived in Brookline. I moved out to the country just in time.
Oh, wow.
But I'm in and out. But I'm glad I'm out here from this, the last 2 years, if you know what I mean. But Happy New Year, boys, and I hope it's a good one for everyone. And this is what is so good about them, Morgan. And by the way, I'm going to listen to your show from now on if you have them on, because honestly, I'm smiling, and it's like, how does radio make you smile?
Well, that's one of our jobs.
Well, they have the Winikers on because that's the charm and the je ne sais quoi they have. You walk in a room, you see them, and you're Jeff Beck, Donovan. I think Donovan saw them. You boys don't remember all them. You only remember Bonnie Raitt, correct?
No, but we remember. I'll tell you what happened. Kevin White started the concerts on the Common, and all these artists from around the country, big acts, they did the concerts, but they all stayed at the Parker House. So we
I know. I know, and that's how I saw you guys. And I was really young, and I got up to dance, and I was dancing in one of the bands, and I made everybody get up, and I got Bonnie and Barbara, and we all were dancing, and I looked, and I went, hey, I like this band better, and here I am with blues and rock and roll, and you guys were like going, oh, I love this band. And I followed you. I saw you at the Colonnade,
Right.
I wasn't like there to see you, but then you were there, and then my friends were staying at the hotels, and it was great. You guys are amazing, and you're just... This is the best way to set up a new year, is to have you guys on the radio.
That's just what I thought. When I booked them, that's just what I thought. Who better to kick off the new year, the first Morgan show of 2022, than Bill and Bo?
And I honestly feel happy. And I'm so glad that they were promoting themselves on Facebook today. Because
we wanted to let everybody know about the show. Sure, we put an announcement out on Facebook, of course.
And you can tell it's working.
Do you want to tell everybody about the story when Bonnie Raitt came up and started dancing on the dance floor of the Parker House?
I think you could tell it better than me. The only thing I can tell is that Bonnie Raitt went up to our saxophone player, Ed Fiorenza. I'll never forget this as long as I live. She said, this is real music, she said. And I said to Bonnie, man, your music is real music. It's your great music. She said, no, this is the real music, she said. So I'll never forget that.
Right, and I was running, and I had just saw you for the first time, and I was running back to the table going, surrounded by all these musicians, and I'm going, this band is great. And we were like looking at you guys and going, you're the great band. And I honestly, right now in this time of the season, honestly, I think you're more popular than, okay, maybe not the Beatles, but I think you're more popular.
Let's give them something to talk about.
No,
let me tell you, we're going to get a swelled head after this call.
What is even more charming about the Winikers is that they, whenever you see them, they haven't changed one bit. They're being kind, considerate, grateful, and thankful every single day. They haven't changed their personality at all. They're fabulous.
And you know what, Kim? At that point, we can't add to that, so I'm going to say good night to you, because we have...
I know, you've got plenty to go, and I'll go. And cheerio, boys. Have a great evening, and thank you for being there.
Kim, thank you.
Thank you so much for this call. Thank you so much.
Happy New Year to you, Kim. Let's now go to Bob in Westwood. Bob, you've been on for almost a half hour as well.
That's okay, Morgan. It's worth the time. Hello, boys.
Happy New Year.
How are you?
All right, buddy. And you guys are been a regular high talent over there, for goodness sake. You'd be selling your autographs pretty. What's going on?
Well, we're just having fun. You know what we're doing? We're getting some fun out of life through our music and through my dad and my mother's. That's how we're doing it.
There you go.
Great to hear from you.
Well, you too. Well, I had a wonderful night last night. And the one thing, by the way, Happy New Year, Morgan.
Thank you. Same to you.
I wanted to just point out that, in the shrinking land of jazz venues that are going on now, it's such a wonderful thing to have a spot that you can come to and feel comfortable and sing with guys who just know what the hell they're doing. And it's really a pleasure as a vocalist that I go up there and Bo seems to be the magic man to know tempos and speeds and keys, and it makes me feel so safe up there. And Bill has a wealth of stories. He's like a musical savant, that talks
Nicely
about
put.
Yeah, thank you. And so another thing I wanted to go back to, Bo, you talked about the Brookline Rotary Club, and I remember you invited me up to sing one year, and the payment was in all the flapjacks you could eat.
Well, you know something, Bob? That same offer is on the table for this year, April 9th. If you're anywhere near the Brookline High School, we're going to have another pancake breakfast, and I'd love you to come and sing a few songs with us.
That would be great. I'll mark that down. Keep me posted, will you?
I sure will. Yep. All the pancakes you can eat.
We're going to put your face on a pancake and make a poster.
Well, I hope for sure. And I do want to mention that during that time, I had the pleasure of being introduced to Brenda Keene, another fine vocalist. And she became a wonderful friend to me during my COVID days. And I'll never forget that. And I hope she's listening because I owe her a lot. And it was just very straight of her to do. And thanking you, Bo, for introducing us at that time. But anywho, I'm just calling in to say thank you, boys, for all the time you've given me a chance to go up there and sing a few tunes. And it's just nice to have that stability, especially it's a fine restaurant, Bellows, as you know, in Harbor Street in Brookline. And it was a great night last night, and everybody had a good time. And it's really nice to bring in the new year with good people, good friends who understand the music and what you're trying to do. So, again, big handshake to both you, Bill, Bo, to Neil, and my love to your mom as well. And Cindy, Gail, of course, was tremendous. And Larry Willis was great on the guitar, and Marie anytime it filled it in. So really was a nice night.
It was a wonderful night. It was really a treat to have you with us last night.
And thank you so much for this call tonight. It means so much to both of us, honest to goodness.
Bob, thank you, and Happy New Year to you.
Morgan, you owe me a Walton's runoff one of these days. We had to do a Walton retrospective. You said how good you were about Walton memorabilia.
The Waltons?
Yeah, you're a big Walton fan, I heard.
Well, I'm not huge, but I can hold my own.
Okay, you were challenging me last time I called in, so I'm putting your feet Morgan. No problem. Well, it was so nice to talk to you guys.
Take care,
and
Bobby.
just have a You too. Take care.
And Happy New Year. Bye-bye, Bob. All right. I am right up against the news breaks, but this news break at the bottom of the hour is a lot quicker than the one at the top of the hour. So, Peter in Rhode Island, you will be... No, I'm sorry. Dan in Texas, you will be next. Then Peter in Rhode Island. Then Judy. And there is an open line. Bob was on it. You want it? Take it. But let me throw it to my news break here on WBZ. 10:30, the time, 10:30 our location, 47 degrees. Welcome back to the Morgan Show. My guests are the Winiker brothers, Bill and Bo, and I'm just going to go right to the phones. Let's go to Texas and speak to Dan. Dan, Happy New Year.
Good evening. Happy New Year to you.
Thank you.
Can you hear me?
Loud and clear.
That's wonderful. This is such a thrill. This is another wonderful magical moment in my musical fellowship and friendship with Bo and Bill. Hi guys, how are you?
Dr. Dan, it is so great to hear your voice. Morgan, this is the third brother in the Winiker family.
Oh, okay.
I mean, he's not really. I mean, he's sort of a brother from another mother. But
right.
We love Dr. Dan, and we've been friends for forever and ever. Go ahead, Dr. Dan. You have the floor.
What story should I tell Bo? Should I tell him the key bass story? What should I tell him?
They're all great stories.
And, Dr. Dan, you should tell any story you like.
Tell the key bass story.
First I have to start by saying you're such a blessing, Morgan, to do this, and I hope to meet you in person someday. I'm a cancer doctor down in Houston, Texas, at MD Anderson Cancer Center. But I've been friends with Bill first and then Bo since 1967. I was in college. I met Bill through a mutual friend, a bass player, a wonderful bass player named Wes Hirons. I'd met at a music camp in Maine with the Camp Encore up in Maine. And I had a job to play at one of the Harvard houses for one of the end-of-the-year celebrations. Master Gill, who's an opera singer and the head of the house at Leverett House at Harvard, he heard that I could play and I needed to put together a band, and I knew Wes Hirons. I said, Wes, I need a drummer. And he said, you got to meet Bill Winiker. This kid's great. And at the time, he was he's a teenager. I guess he was at the Boston Conservatory at the time, and we played, and it was a magical night. And we still play some of those tunes from that performance in June of 1967. Our favorite is Samba de Orpheus. Billy, we played it so fast. I don't think we've ever played it as fast. But we always
Danny, I don't think I could do it now as fast as that was. That was lightning.
But we were cooking that night. And so the next year we got the job again, and I needed a bass player this time. And Bill said, well, I'm going to bring my brother. I said, okay, that's great. Who's your brother? He said, my brother is Bo. He said, I said, great. How old is he? He said, he's 15. I said, Bill. Yeah. Come on, Bill. I mean, I'm sure he's great. You're great. I'm sure he's wonderful. But he said, no, Dan, you don't understand. I said, well, I guess I don't, but we're not going to have a bass player that night. He said, well, can he come along? I said, sure, you can bring him along. He'll bring his trumpet, and he can play the key bass, a little. Those were the early days of the keyed instruments that you could hook into an amp. And I said, okay, but he's not going to play, Bill. He said, well, he'll come anyway. So he brought him along. We played the whole night. In those days, the jobs weren't that long. I guess we played a couple hours. We had dinner. It was very nice. And he said, can he play? I said, no, Billy, I told you he can't. He's not going to play. I'd never heard him play. I had no idea. And that's the way we left it. But we stayed friends because I told him the truth, and he believed me, and we did that. And then the next summer, I was playing down on the Cape, and they were playing at Old Silver Beach down in Falmouth. And I was on a break. I was at the Falmouth Playhouse playing with a wonderful singer, and I took a break, and I drove over there, and there's this little guy playing the trumpet, and I thought, oh, my God, this is the second coming of Louis Armstrong. And he was terrific. And he was just out of this. I thought, oh, my God, this is probably the worst judgment I've ever made, the worst decision. But fortunately, we recouped it. And so they were staying down there, and I was there. So I became friends with Bo, and Bo is a sensational golfer. And so I was living right on the Falmouth Country Club Playhouse area, so I got to play for free, and I would pick up Bo in my Mustang. Most mornings we'd come and we'd play together, And so I don't know. I was about 20, 21. He was about 15, 16, and we just became fast friends. I never beat him on the golf course. I hit my best shot one time.
I remember that shot.
Ever. It was at the Middleton, that par 3 in Middleton, and I
remember it well.
It was 2 feet. It was 2 feet from the hole, and I said, "Thank God, I'm finally going to win a hole from this guy." And he steps up there, and he hit it 6 inches closer to the hole than my ball. And I thought, okay, this God is telling me this isn't going to happen. I never have beaten him in golf.
You know, my face is about to crack, Dr. Dan. I'm smiling so hard here, but we have had a relationship for all those years. It's just been incredible. And there's one thing I want to say about Dr. Dan. I'd like to say a lot of things, but the thing I want to say, Morgan, is when Dr. Dan plays that piano, the music always comes alive. And, you know, we have had so many memorable, magical moments, as Dan started this conversation with. When we play the music, we go to places that you can't find on any map. There's no drug or there's no alcohol that can get you there. It's just those endorphins that kick in when we start playing together. Is that right, Dr. Dan?
Well, you know, that is, we played last night, and I played with a bunch of, a wonderful band and a couple of young kids that were mentoring from the town here in Conroe, Texas, a lovely little town about 50 miles north of Houston. And we have a wonderful jazz group here and a wonderful mentor named Bob Price, who has a nice operation. He takes these kids and he teaches them. You know, we have the North Texas State University up here, which is sort of like Berkeley and the Boston Conservatory all rolled into one. We got some great jazz players and some wonderful people. And so we were playing last night, and we were talking about that here's these kids, you know, and they're great kids, and we have this horrible opioid epidemic that we would be talking about if it wasn't COVID. And these kids, you know, the music is the best drug, Morgan. It brings people together. Everybody has fun. There's no harm from it, and it's just great. I don't know if you know this. I'm pretty knowledgeable about these guys. I am pretty confident that neither one of these guys has ever, not only have they never had alcohol, I don't believe they've ever had caffeine. And we have many wonderful, wonderful friends in the LDS community in Belmont and Boston. But this is not a religious, this is just a way of life for them. And I admire it so much. I've never seen Bo drink a cup of coffee, or Bill, and we all can get just so energized, and it's magical, and there's no hangover. It's just the best thing. So I'm so grateful for their friendship. I have to tell you a couple other things while I have this wonderful opportunity.
Do one, just one thing, because I'm tight on time now.
I know you are, but I really appreciate you. I'm just going to leave it with, I don't know if you realize that these guys are both savants. You can mention almost any song, the first three notes, and Bill will tell you what the song is. You know, they have that app now on the iPhone that you can play the song and the phone will identify it. Well, Bill is way better than that app. He can identify any song and the history and who wrote it and what was the importance of that song. And Bo, I can sit down at the piano and start playing any song, and he can't see the keyboard, and I can play the first couple notes. He'll know the song, and he will know what key it's in because he has perfect pitch. So these guys are something very special, and it's been my great honor to have them as dear friends. And
Dan, thank you for taking the time to call and your superb words. And
we love you, Dr. Dan. We absolutely love you. And you just touched our hearts in such a special way. Thank you so much for the call tonight.
Happy New Year,
I'll
Dr.
talk to you
Dan.
tomorrow.
Okie dokie.
You get to the best.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Happy New Year.
There goes Dan in Texas. I've entertained in Texas, but that's another story for another day. And I'm at that point I have to take my last break. And I really would like to take Peter now. But, Peter, please be understanding. I know you've been holding for over 40 minutes, but I will get to you after this break here on WBZ. Time and temperature 10:44, 47 degrees. Okay, let's not tarry. Bill and Bo are here, and it seems like the legion of fans.
Oh, boy, it's unbelievable.
Of the Winikers, and it doesn't stop. My phone lines, I'm surprised that I don't have to call a repair person because it's burned out. Peter in Rhode Island, I apologize. You were on an unnecessary amount of time, and I apologize.
No problem. I have a lot of patience.
Thank goodness. Happy New Year.
This is thank you. Same to you. This is Peter Foss, and Bill and Bo know me from Bellows. We met in November for the first time, although I felt like we've been friends for years because they're so warm and welcoming and just unbelievable musicians in addition. So I wanted to call in to say Happy New Year, and, we stay in touch on Facebook, of course, and it's just a pleasure having this friendship.
Peter, you're a wonderful man, and just meeting you just recently, as you just said, it feels like we've known you for years. You're such a nice person. And,
Thank you. Well, I've never felt such warmth in a room as I did that night at Fellows, and with you all there, I felt like we had this connection for years when we just really had never actually met before. But not only was the warmth in the room, the love in the room, and people that love music, but of course my friend Karen Cameron was there, who you've known for years, and it was wonderful celebrating her birthday, and the food and the ambiance, everything about it was just magical. And my wife and my niece and I enjoyed ourselves, and I'm looking forward to bringing my son up, who's a junior in high school, my son Mason, and he plays the alto sax, and he's
a very fine musician.
Thank you. He's done really well, and he just made, as you probably read on Facebook, the #1 alto sax of the senior Rhode Island All-State Band, and he's very excited, hoping to meet people in person and actually have it not be just virtual this year. We're hoping he'll actually be able to play in person with all these other wonderful musicians, but we'll see, as time goes, how everything plays out this year, so. But we're very excited, and, so it was just magical being there that evening, and we look forward to the new year, and let's just hope it's a positive outcome with the virus and everything. Things.
Let's cross our fingers and hope is right.
Yes, because we definitely want to see you and have everybody have the experience of going to Velos. I've spread the word to many people. I have friends that have a close friend at the museum where I work, whose mom lives in Brookline, so she grew up in Brookline, and she goes up there periodically, and she and her husband hoping to go there. I told them on a Friday or Sunday night when you're playing, so that they get to enjoy the experience that we have, so. But it's wonderful that I found out that you were going to be on tonight, so I could call in.
Well, thank you for the call.
We appreciate hearing from you so much. And we look forward to better times and some good hanging out with you and celebrating and sharing music.
Thank you so much. And I'm sorry I missed New Year's Eve and Christmas Eve, but of course I heard about it. And it's nice to see that you do so much. You bless so many people and are involved in so many, playing for so many different groups of people in nursing homes and everywhere. And it's very exciting to hear about that you are such a blessing to so many. So I thank you for that.
We love playing at an assisted living facility or a nursing home or for the elderly, as much as anything we've ever done, because to see the joy in people's eyes, you couldn't put a price on it.
So. Peter, thank you for the call.
Okay, good talking to you all, and happy, healthy, and a blessed New Year to you all.
Same to you.
Thank you so much.
Bye, Peter. And let's get one more on before I have to take news. Up in Winchester, I've got Judy. Judy, Happy
Hi.
New Year.
Happy New Year. Didn't I just see you yesterday?
Me? No.
Yeah.
No.
Oh, yeah. Of course we saw you yesterday.
Of course you did. And it was the most wonderful evening. It was as good as the other New Year's a few years back.
Well, that's so great. And I think you were even dancing a little bit last night.
I was. Some gentleman, as I was coming back from the ladies' room, grabbed me and we started dancing. And I turned and looked at my husband, who had this dirty look on his face. But it
I was happy to see you having fun on the dance floor.
I was. It's the first time I've danced in years. So you two and your whole group have been so fabulous. And I said this last year, you just know how to make people happy.
Well, it's a gift. You know, it's from the training that we had from our father. We were well mentored and trained, and we've been doing this for 59 years. It's a long time to do anything.
Long time.
But we love it.
Your bride is just so wonderful also, Bill. She's terrific. So you have a great group, and I never learned how to I never learned how to golf, but that's life.
You know what? I'll send Bo to give you private lessons.
No.
Never. Absolutely never. I have no abilities in sports.
You know what?
To be able to sing.
We all have special gifts. The good Lord gives us all special gifts, and you have many of them.
Oh, you're so sweet. But I thank all three of you. Yeah, it's just such a wonderful time to hear everybody. And I really enjoyed this evening and yesterday.
Judy, thank you for your call.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, we love you, Judy.
Happy New Year.
We love you back. Okay.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. And
Bye-bye.
this next call lives kind of near me in Chestnut Hill. Ruth, Happy New Year.
Hi, guys.
Hey. Hi, Ruth.
Hi. Happy New Year.
To you as well.
Can you hear me?
Loud and clear.
Okay, good. Well, first of all, Happy New Year. Second of all, you know what I learned tonight? That Dr. Dan and I are like half brother and sister, because I'm your sister from another mother and he's your brother from another mother.
You're absolutely right about that.
That's right.
So we're related. So that's cool. And, you know, last night was the first of New Year's Eve of yours that I've missed in quite a while. And I am so happy to hear such rave reviews about last night. And truthfully, you've always said this to me, that your most important job is the next one. And you always make every job great. So, I mean, I've heard you and seen you so many times. And honestly, I've told you this also, that your friendship is one of my most treasured gifts. So,
and right back at you. You're right back at you.
Thank you. And I'm just going to tell a quick story about how I met, how I met Bill.
You got about a minute.
Okay. So the Winikers were playing at Veronique in Brookline, and I took swing dance lessons, and then they would play afterward, and it was right after they did the Clinton inaugural ball, and actually Bill came over to me and introduced himself and said, you know, I think you're my neighbor. He said, I've seen you at the Stop and Shop, and I've seen you unloading your groceries, and I used to park behind 45 Longwood. And I came home and I said, oh, my God, this is a celebrity who recognized me. Well, needless to say, I never let go. And this is almost 30 years later. So thanks for the great times, and I look forward to many more. And I love you, and I love your mom, and I'll see you soon.
Ruth, thank you for your call. And
Thank
happy,
you so much.
happy
We
New
love
Year
you
to
too.
you. All
Good
right.
night.
Good night. You want to call in? The news time is the best time to maybe get an open line. So 617-254-1030, 888-929-1030. And I mentioned this once earlier in the show. Aside from throwing laurels at Bill and Bo, if you want to say a few words about the passing of Betty White, you can do that as well. That will not be penalized from your phone call time. So if you want to say a few kind words about the great lady Betty White that we lost yesterday, and as well, compliments headed towards Bill and Bo Winiker, you can do one, you can do the other, you can do both. Here with me on The Morgan Show, heard only on WBZ News Radio 1030.
This is The Morgan Show. Morgan White Jr. Call 617-254-1030. Join the group and hang out with Morgan on WBZ News Radio 1030.
Killer Joe. Maybe I should request Bill and Bo to add that. I know they have that.
We played it.
Yep, you played it the last time I showed up.
For you. Yeah, of course. I mean, we love it. You said you loved our version of that.
Yes. And I'm thinking, as well as Powerhouse, I should request that.
Well, we'll play both of those for you for sure.
And I have, excuse me, I have a tentative day when I'm going to show up, and it's within the time frame of winter.
Oh, wonderful.
March 11th. Is that, I think that's near a Sunday.
Well,
and that's my girlfriend Nancy's birthday.
Excellent.
And I'm going to, depending on the schedule, bring her to celebrate her birthday and listen to fine music by the Winikers.
Well, that just sounds great.
All right. And let me, while I'm doing some FYIs, I entertain in public as well. Tuesday, I do trivia at the Midway Restaurant, and that's in Dedham, 269 Washington Street, from 6 to 7:30. You want to come by, win a hat, win a T-shirt. You might win a lottery flashlight. How's that? Every Tuesday. I'd love to meet you. I'd love to meet the people that do call in and have a face to go with the voice. And next week's Morgan Show, I've got Chet Winiker from the Vintage T-shirt location. Elvis's birthday is the 8th of January, which is next week. So I've got Big Elvis coming in. And Stephen J. Rubin has written books on The Twilight Zone, James Bond, etc. We'll be talking to Stephen about some of the books he's written. That's next week on The Morgan Show. And now let's go to Arlington. I've got two Arlington calls back to back. Sylvie, thank you for your patience. Welcome aboard The Morgan Show.
Hello, thank you very much. Can you hear me?
Loud and clear, and Happy New Year.
Thank you so much. Yes, so this is Larry and Sylvie, and we want to say how much we love Bill and Bo and wish you a fantastic 2022.
Thank you so much. It's great to hear your voice.
Thank you. So, believe it or not, it's been exactly 10 years that you came to our house and that I tried to, play accompanying piano, and I can't wait to do it again.
Well, the next time we come, you're going to be so much better. We're going to really be clicking.
And I can remember that night like it was yesterday. It was so much fun.
And you know what I remember about that night besides the music? I remember Larry cooking us a fabulous meal.
Yes, we will do the same. The good Hungarian chicken paprika.
Yeah, I love chicken paprika. Boy, that I still remember that. I can remember how it tasted. We're coming back. Anyway,
I want to say that it's so it's always a pleasure to hear you at Velos. It's a great restaurant, and you just bring so much joy to us, and talking about piano and music and jazz. You guys are fantastic. I don't want to take too much of your time, and I want other people to be on the call. So thank you so much, and we'll come very, very soon. Thank you for the memories. Yes.
And Sylvie, thank you for your call.
You're welcome.
Happy New Year to you and your husband, Larry.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Morgan, for inviting them.
Well, thank you for listening.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Good night now.
Bye-bye.
614-254-1030, 888-929-1030. If you want to call in, the red carpet is rolled out for you. Another Arlington call, Mary. Mary, good evening.
Hello there. It's Mary here from Arlington. Well, I want to thank the boys for last night and the whole band. Just for people who didn't go last night, I want you to picture 7 people. 7 people were playing an instrument of some sort, and 5 people were singing. And when I turned around towards the end of the evening, all the tables were empty. Everyone was dancing. Absolutely, every table was empty.
And were you dancing?
I don't think. Yeah, a little bit, just a little bit. It was
all right, man.
Yes, I was dancing to a little bit. So, another thing I learned last night was that people came from a distance. There was somebody from Worcester, which I think is about an hour away, and Cambridge, Winchester, West Roxbury, and then just a local from Brookline. But I'd be very interested to know where everyone else came from. Maybe Bo and Bill would know that. And then also, if they want to talk about the musicians' table, my thought on it is that maybe when they see somebody at a table by himself or herself, they invite the person to come and join some other people for a nice night and socialize. So that's kind of my idea of what they do with the musicians' table. And you're given the option to sit there, too. So let me think what else. And the other thing I wanted to ask them is what kind of people do you want to have at that second hour? I know it's mostly singers, but I've been there some nights where lots of instruments have been there. People have brought their instruments, maybe violin, and everybody kind of plays sometimes all at the same time, and sometimes it's just one person playing with the band. So maybe they could address that to get some more, some new people coming.
Well, stay put. Don't move. Let's ask them. Bill, Bo, there...
First of all...
Yes, go ahead.
I want to say how lovely you looked last night, Mary. You looked beautiful last night. And
thank you, Bo.
And you're such a fantastic fan of our families, and it does touch us deeply. So we never know who's coming. It's always open mic in the second set for anyone that wants to come. And as you said, we've always had a lot of instrumentalists over the years, and we've had a lot of vocalists. So we never know who's coming, and everyone is welcome.
Yeah, it's beautiful. It's really beautiful. So, and that's the other thing I didn't even mention is the community feel of the room. So, say if you do come by yourself, I pretty much guarantee you won't be by yourself, for the entire night. People will reach out to you. Or
there's an instant camaraderie, whether you know anybody else there or you're there with 2 or 3 friends, but there's an instant camaraderie to the people.
Do you know
listening.
something? That's been the way it's always been like that for us, no matter what venue. We were at the Park House for 14 years, and we just got to know the guests, and they would just keep coming back and back for years. We were 26 years at Skipjack's Jazz Brunch on Sundays, and we got to know everyone who came over from church, and we just built great relationships with people. And this is just something that is part of who we are. It's in our DNA. Just my dad was the same way. He had business cards, and he'd give one out and say, no matter where I am, come and find me and come and visit me. And that's how he was. He was open and loved people, and we're the same way. And that's really been our trademark. And I think that's one of the reasons why we've been successful, because we do like to create that warmth I mean, it's basically just an open space, but the music has an integral part of creating that feeling. And so I love when you say that, Mary, because that's so important to us for guests to feel that way, and you feel it. And
guys, Mary, don't move. I'm not finished.
Okay, I'm not moving
yet.
in.
But is there a website, a phone number, something you can give to people so they can find out where you're playing, if it's not just Velos on Sunday?
Sure.
If they want to get in touch to hire you, tell people your information.
Sure. Well, you can go to winikermusic.com.
This is spelled Winiker.
Winiker, winikermusic.com. You'll find our website, and pretty much you can navigate the website. I think our phone number's on there.
And it tells where we're playing.
And it also tells where we're playing as well. So that's a good way to start. Going to the Winiker website, and you'll find your way to either Bill or Bo from getting on the website.
Mary, do you have this information?
I can look it up. I will just absolutely look it up. I know that I've seen them in Belmont at the senior center there, and the room is transformed. You just start off with nothing, and then all of a sudden they're doing a conga at the all over the
well,
so it's
Mary, when I was conducting the Boston Pops for 5 New Year's Eves in a row, and we would get we'd form a conga line in Symphony Hall, and people would be marching all over. We'd have a New Orleans finale at Symphony Hall on New Year's Eve, and that's just the way that we've always done it. I mean, get people up and moving and having fun and singing and dancing, and it's just I think it's a divine intervention that we've learned how to bring people together in a very special way.
Mary, thank you for your call, and I want to wish you and yours a Happy New Year.
That's lovely. Thank you, and I wish you and yours a Happy New Year, and the same to the Winiker family and all the people who were singing and playing last night. I appreciate all of them, and all the people I met. By the way, another part of the community is that we weren't. It's not just Bo and Bill having a relationship with the people, but we're having a relationship with each other. So, I know the names of people. I sat next to Jean last night. I talked to Bob. I saw Barbara, Steve, Casey. So I'm learning names too. And, the next time you go, you'll remember the people's names. So it's kind of it's a very mutual kind of thing. So anyway, I'm enjoying it. Let's put it this way.
Mary, thank you very much.
It's almost like a club, like we're all members of a private social club.
Exactly. All right, Mary, bye-bye.
Okay, bye. Take care. Bye.
All right. There's room for you if you want to call in, 617-254-1030, 888-929-1030. Come on, speak to Bill and Bo. And Jenny in Weymouth, you will be next, but let me take my break. And this is the last roundup. We have approximately 40 minutes of show to go with Bill and Bo here on The Morgan Show. That all rhymed. Wow. That was not done on purpose. Time and temperature here on WBZ, 11:18, 47 degrees. We are back. I am Morgan. The two gentlemen to my right are Bill and Bo Winiker. Siblings, they've been doing music for 5 decades. They were taught by their father. And a couple of people mentioned your mom. I remember the last time you guys were on, she was not doing her best. Is she better now?
She is doing much, much better, Morgan. Thank you so much for asking. I'm just sort of glad this year is over, because this was a very difficult year for her and a stressful year for us. My mother is 95 years of age. Her mind is still as sharp as a tack. She remembers much, much more than Bill and myself. and she went through some very difficult health issues during the course of the year, but has turned the corner, and she sits on the couch these days and she reads lots of novels, and she is able to cook a little bit these days, and doing much better. Watches her favorite. Yeah, thank you. Watches her favorite TV shows from 7 to 8 o'clock at night. You can't bother her on watch favorite shows. So we're very lucky to still have our mother. And I would say that the crowning jewel of the pandemic. It's been so difficult for so many of us around the world, but every night the three of us. What's that? Oh, my mother just.
Yeah, she said all the time.
Yeah, she listens to you all the time. Yeah,
I heard her say that.
Yeah, and you know something? Mel Simon has sent her every single book that he's published. They always arrive here in the mail with her name on it.
Yeah.
Well, Mel's a good guy. And Mrs. Winiker, Happy New Year to you.
Thank you so much. And I was saying we have dinner together every night, and that's really a blessing for us to be able to share stories and break bread together. So thank you so much for asking about our mother. And I want to just tell you, I may have told you this before, but my mother tried to teach us quite a number of lessons, and we learned a few of them, but I wish we learned more, and it's not too late. But she said, boys, it doesn't cost any extra to be nice. And we've heard that from her hundreds of times. And she also said, it's so important to do good deeds. And my brother and I, we continue to do good deeds. We just keep doing them. And the more good deeds we do, the better quality life we have. And that's really so important.
And you will be rewarded for that down the road. Let me take a phone call. Jenny, thank you for taking the time to call in for Bill and Bo. Happy New Year.
Hi, Morgan.
Hi, Jenny.
Hi, Bill. Hi, Bo. It's so nice to hear you both. And hi, Mom.
Yeah. I want to say one thing, Jenny. I've heard you call for the last few years. I've heard you call Dan. I've heard you call Morgan. You have the sweetest voice of any caller that's ever called BZ.
Oh, dear. You need to get your ears fixed for a musician. What kind of ears are those?
Oh, no, I can hear what... I told Glenn from right. I said, that's the sweetest caller that you're ever going to hear right there.
Oh, well, bless your heart. You're very kind to say so. But I just wanted to say quickly, first of all, your mom and dad both have left the world a wonderful legacy in the two of you. You're just delightful, and it really is it's such a pleasure to hear you recall with such fondness and clarity, by the way, your many moments of beautiful music and the magical memories that you've created through that with so many people, and just the joy that people have when they recall the time spent with you. It's just really wonderful, and I want to thank you. And you're both so bright-spirited. It's like you're scrubbed in sunshine, so good for the both of you. We need more positivity in the world, and I always think music is like food for the soul. You know, it's life-sustaining. So just thank you for that. And I know Glenn has been really delighted to be able to participate in the nights out to dinner and the music. And I know it's brought him great joy, and I'm very happy for that. And like I said, just to hear you recall the memories, it's quite fantastic. And Dr. Dan, I believe it was.
Yes.
What a great guy. What a great guy. So in any event,
yeah. Well, I mean, you touch you just touch us so deeply. When I was thinking of listening to what you said, three of my favorite words are attitude, gratitude, and humility. I think of those three words every day. I think of those three words every day, and try to incorporate them in my life.
Sure. Well, I think you've both done it by leaps and bounds. And when you mentioned the lessons your mom taught you, it's clear that you've both taken them to heart and run with them through all these years. And, they say there is no selfless good deed. So perhaps that's why you're so filled up inside with, from doing good. So in any event, thanks for spreading the joy. And
Wait, Jenny, before you hang up.
Sure.
It sounds like you've not been to Velos, or when they called it Brothers, but might Might you come by one of these Sundays?
I was going to say Sunday maybe. I'll tell you, I don't get. To me, that's far from me now. I don't spread my wings and flyers I used to. When I was a youngster, I was a frequent flyer in Boston, all around Boston, and I used to go to Symphony and so forth. But someday maybe. I hope to, and because I know I'd be smiling from ear to ear the whole time. But bless the people who do. They're extremely fortunate, and I wish you both and your blessed mom much good health in the new year. And Morgan, to you and Nancy and Greg.
Thank you. And yes, he's here in his little throw rug, right next to my broadcast table.
Content as can be, no doubt. They don't ask for much, and they give us a lot. So listen, guys, thanks a million. I didn't mean to hold you up.
No.
Again,
yeah.
No,
we just appreciate your call so much.
Oh, thank you for hearing me. Be well, Al. Bye-bye.
Take care. Bye-bye. All right, Glenn, I know you're out there listening. I've tried to talk her into showing up. Who knows? Maybe that will happen. I'm sure that would put a smile on your face because you two have become phone buddies. And I'm about to take the bottom of the hour news hit. I'm going to say something I've not said all night. Open lines. You want to call in 617-254-1030 or 888-929-1030 and speak to the Winikers. Nothing's standing in your way. Wide open lines. Go for it. Time and temperature here at WBZ 1129, 45 degrees. We are down to roughly 25 minutes of show to go. Bill and Bo Winiker are here. I've got some phone calls to take. And let's begin with Rick in Cambridge. Happy New Year, Rick. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. I'm kind of shocked I got through, but anyway, I have no clue who these gentlemen are, but just by the calls that I'm listening to and the reaction of certain individuals, I can tell they're good guys. And the touching part was about the 95-year-old mother sitting on the couch watching TV. But anyway, can I ask you a question? Are you the Bill Winiker that sang the song Lean On Me?
No,
that's Bill Withers.
Oh, Bill. Okay. All right. Well, I was, but anyway, you sound like a perfect gentleman, and it's just so refreshing. And I heard. I think I'm not going to say anything derogatory, but I think people that were over 40 called, and it's such a pleasure, and this new year, let's, in my world, my little world, let's start it off fresh. And it's such a pleasure to hear your voices and to hear the good conversation that comes out of your voices. And I know it comes from the heart. And Morgan, I'll let you go. Thank you.
Rick, thank you. Rick. Kind words and happy New Year to you. And there goes there goes Rick. And here comes Tom in Peabody. Tom, welcome to the Morgan Show with Bill and Bo Winiker. Happy New Year.
Thank you. Happy New Year to you, and Happy New Year to your guests.
Thank you so much.
My pleasure. I was just calling for the fact that my father used to do what you fellows do. He used to play in Boston all the time. He played the accordion, he played the piano, and he used to play at the Parker House?
So did they.
Yeah. Tell us his name, Tom. What was your father's name? What's your father's name?
His name was Tom Drowan.
Okay, we never met him, but
he had a partner, Jerry, and they used to be Tom and Jerry, Boston's own Tom and Jerry.
Does that ring a bell, guys?
Yeah. Well, no, but just to have that name, what a clever setup, Tom and Jerry.
Yeah. And he played for years.
Tell us a little about him.
Well, he played in cruise ships. He used to play in vaudeville. they used to do comedy songs. There was a song that they wrote, Gallagher and Sheen was the name of it.
Mm-hmm.
And Jerry was a big, heavy guy. And he could really belt out a song, but when he did, my God, you'd think he was going to have a heart attack.
Yeah, Tom, spell your father's last name, because I'm going to ask some of my colleagues. I know I'll find somebody that remembers him.
Drohan.
Drohan. Okay.
H-A-N.
Yeah, Drohan. All right,
Yeah.
I'm going to check with some of my older musician friends, and we'll find some people that remember him.
Yeah.
All right, Tom, thank you for the call.
Okay, thank you very much.
Happy New Year to you. And now let's go out of state and speak to Craig in Ohio. Hello, Craig.
Evening. Well, my call is just two quick thank yous. Being New Year's, Morgan, thank you for what you do. You come in. I like to turn you on Saturday night just to shake the world off my shoulders.
Thank you.
And you have fabulous. You're welcome. And you have fabulous guests like the Winikers, and they also put smiles on people's faces. And it's just great. Keep doing what all you're doing. Keep fighting the good fight. And take care now.
Craig, thank you for that. Enjoy your New Year in Ohio.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Good night. There goes Craig. Now we're just whipping through phone calls. Scott in New Jersey, you're next here on The Morgan Show. Happy New Year.
Well, Happy New Year to you. And I must say, I'm 61 years old now. I've known these guys for 61 years. We're family.
Okay.
This is Scott Buckler.
Yeah, Scott, it's so great to hear your voice. We love you so much and your family.
Well, thank you so much, and I wanted to share some quick memories.
Please.
When I was a kid, I was playing the trumpet, and I could play this terribly irritating kind of staccato in D minor. And you guys got a kick out of it, and I remember your rehearsal room in the back of your house. At the end of a song, you would point to me, and I would play that irritating noise, and everyone seemed to like it.
I remember.
And the next thing I want to throw out is your father helped me learn the song Autumn Leaves on the piano.
Wow.
Just a great teacher.
And that song is tailor-made for the piano because the tinkling of the keys instantly makes people think of leaves falling from a tree.
Yeah. Ferranti did that, had a big record of that. But my father, Scott, my father was a great teacher. He was a really good teacher. And that's why we're the musicians we are today. But I'm glad that he taught you a little bit. He just knew how to teach.
Tell us something else that you remember, please.
Well, I just want to, talk about the wedding. Bo, you played at my son's wedding on September 1st of 19. And
one of the best weddings of all time. Yeah.
Two quick... Yes, thank you for that comment. Two quick memories. One is, if you remember, Max wrote a song that he wanted to walk down the aisle with you playing.
I remember it so well. I mean, we put a lot of energy and time into learning that, and it was such a beautiful piece.
Yeah, and you spent some hours with him till he was satisfied you got it right, and you were satisfied you got it right. I thought that was wonderful, and it came off great.
Yeah.
And then the other thing I want to mention is you guys played a hora. I think it went for an hour.
An hour?
That one broke all records.
An hour?
It was ridiculous. The excitement in the room, it just blew the house off. You guys were just on fire that night. And it was special.
I got to tell you, we love you and your family. I mean, we are family, but we love you guys. And what an honor it was for us to play at Max's wedding. I mean, you just can't even imagine. I mean, I will never ever forget that the honor of being able to be there. It just touched me tremendously, and you are one of the sweetest people on the whole face of the earth, honestly, and I mean that from the bottom of my heart.
Well, you're so kind, and it's just been a special friendship, a special relationship. Obviously, we're family too, but running around the farm in Millis, coming to your house, my mom, like you guys, are graduates of Millis High School, just a special, special family, and the way you guys have conducted yourself all these decades and made such a difference in the world, you've made all of us proud.
Well, thank you so much. As I say, I don't know what to say, but thank you is the least I can say. And honestly, I just want you to know that I think of you often. I really do. I don't get in touch. I don't do Facebook. I know Bill does, and I know he communicates with your family that way. But I would love to spend more time with you because you are wonderful, and your whole family is too. So thank you so much for making this call tonight.
Thank you, and I want to just again say Happy New Year to the Winiker family, and I'm enjoying the show.
Scott, thank you.
Thank you so much.
All right. Good night and Happy New Year. All right, I'm going to take my last break of the hour, and if you want to call in, we might be able to squeeze you in. 617-254-1030, 888-929-1030, time and temperature 11:43, 47 degrees. Oh my goodness, maybe 10-12 minutes left with the Winikers. This night has flown by, gentlemen. And there's a question
it sure has.
I've been meaning to ask since we first went on the air. The night I came into Brothers, now Velos, there was a female singer, and I thought she was gosh darn good. And obviously you guys have an open mic every evening you perform. Is she still performing, or what's the deal with her?
She sure is. Yeah, she's performing with us every Friday night. That's Zoe. That's our friend Zoe. We've been a mentor to her. It's so interesting because I did want to talk about mentorship, and I also wanted to talk about the fact that we played the national anthem at Celtic games for 5 seasons during the Larry Bird era, and with the passing of Sam Jones, I thought it would be appropriate if we talked a little basketball before the end of the show. If there are other callers, we can take them.
Well, let me take this one call, and then we can talk about Sam Jones.
That would be wonderful.
All right. Bernice in Jamaica Plain.
Talk about him being at Springhouse, a senior residence.
Bernice.
Yesterday afternoon.
Bernice, you're on the air now.
Oh, okay.
You called us.
Good evening. I guess yes, it's still good evening. I wanted to thank you so very, very much for being here at Springhouse as often as you come here. I've been a resident here for about 6 or 7 years, and I look forward to your coming here and entertaining us. I enjoy your music, and I can remember when your family lived on South Street because part of my family lived there at one time. And I just enjoy your music and appreciate that you come to play for us because we love you. We love your music.
And you know something? We love you, too. And I remember you from South Street in Brookline very, very well. And every time I see you at the Springhouse, I just get a great feeling. So thank you so much. You're up a little bit late tonight, and I appreciate the fact that you have made the call to us. Thank you so much.
Well, I appreciate you so much, and you bring so much happiness to us, and I just wanted to let you know that and thank you because I enjoy all the good things that people do for us at this age. Thank you again, And happy and healthy New Year to you. Bye-bye.
Bernice, Happy New Year to you, too.
Bye-bye.
Thank you for your call. Bye-bye. All right, that was nice of her to call. Good way to end our night. And talk about Sam Jones.
Well, let me tell you this, that when I was growing up, when my brother and I were growing up, our dad used to take us to the Boston Garden, and we could go right up to the ticket office, and we could get a seat anywhere in the garden. And
this was for a championship team.
Well, this was before the Bird era, but this is Sam Jones. This is Bill Russell.
Right.
This is the greatest sports franchise of history. The old Boston Celtics, and we could go to those games, and we used to listen. We used to listen to High Above Courtside with Johnny Most. And so what happens is, eventually, we get to play the national anthem in the 1980s for 5 seasons. Every third home game, Bill and I would stand out on the parquet, the old garden parquet, and Bill would roll on his snare drum, and I would play my trumpet, and we'd play the national anthem. And my God, 13,909 at every single one of those games. You couldn't get a ticket during the Bird era. So I have to read this to you because our good friend Dan Shaughnessy, who we met while working the Garden and playing all those anthems, this goes back to 1995, the 6th game of the playoffs, and it's his book, Dan Shaughnessy's book, the history of the Boston Celtics. And here he goes. Before Game 6, Johnny Most got his evening off to a fine start by telling his listeners that Lakers forward Kurt Rambis had just crawled out of a sewer. The anthem was performed by Bo and Bill Winiker, a bugle and snare drum combo that had played dozens of anthems at the Garden over the years. Los Angeles-based superstar performer Stevie Wonder offered his services for the anthem, but loyal Celtics Vice President Todd Rosenzweig said, "There is superstition." And Bill and Bo played the anthem that night, and Stevie Wonder was not allowed to do it, and I think it's the first time. I mean, can you believe that one? I mean, you better believe it. I mean,
I believe it.
Dan wrote about it, and it's right in his book that Bill and Bo we got the nod over Stevie Wonder. Now, I don't know what to say about that. I mean, Stevie is one of the greatest performers of all time.
Great musician.
I love this. Yeah, well, unbelievable, and yeah. So anyway, I thought I would share that little story with you as we run out of time. I wanted to talk about mentoring tonight because we have mentored hundreds and hundreds of people over the years, these young musicians that would come here from Berkeley and New England Conservatory, and this was during the height of the Parker House years. And Bill loves to tell this great story. We had a little apartment on Longwood Avenue, a 2-bedroom apartment, and we had a piano set up and a set of drums. We had the whole stuff, and there was a 6 little unit building, but we'd have young students all the time playing music, and the neighbors loved it. I mean, we were playing jazz and swing music, and what we'd do, whoever came over to a house, we'd take them out to dinner afterwards. We'd pile the kids into Bill's car and my car, and we'd go to this Italian restaurant in Newton called Cantina Abruzzi, and we'd go on a Monday night, and it was all the pasta you could eat for like $4.
Okay.
And this was great for the kids because they didn't have much money. We'd usually treat them to their meals, and some nights I'd have 5 or 6 plates of pasta, and I could out eat those young students. I had a voracious appetite for pasta back then. So, we trained a lot of young musicians and then they would come to work for us during their 4 years of school. And many of them went off to New York and LA and are doing just one of the trumpet players became lead trumpet player for Sinatra. They've all done some amazing things. And so they get back in touch with us all the time and they say, guys, we never forgot how much love you shared in music with us, and they really appreciated it. So I wanted to get that in as well.
You did. Now I got a couple of minutes left. I want you to name drop. You mentioned one of your former students went on to play for Sinatra. I mean, you can't.
That's true.
You can't do better than playing for Frank Sinatra.
Well, I can tell you a story. I can tell you a story about Sinatra at Royal Albert Hall.
Go ahead.
And I was on. I had done a tour of the Soviet Union, on a State Department tour, and we ended up in England. And it turned out that the night that we were there, Sinatra was performing in Royal Albert Hall, and so I knew the producer of that concert from a tour I had done in '72 of England, in Spain, and other countries. But so this man said to me, "I have a ticket for you in the second row of one of Sinatra's shows, and then I have for the next night you're going to be in the sound booth." And so on one of the nights, I was in the second row. The show was over. They took me right to Sinatra's dressing room, and he was leaving the building. He had 8 security guards around him, and outside the building was a white Rolls Royce. And Frank got into his limousine, his Rolls Royce, and left the building. I was there, but I didn't get to meet him. But I went into his dressing room after the show, and I ate his turkey sandwiches. He had a tray full of turkey sandwiches, and I was sitting there eating his sandwiches. And I don't know too many people that could have been in Frank Sinatra's dressing room eating his sandwiches. That night I didn't meet him, but we've met some other luminaries, of which I will tell you the next time.
Okay, fair enough. And there will be a next time. As I say, it should be in March, because I have guests on a rotation of every other month or every 2 months. And every time you're on, you break my phone lines.
Well, let me tell you, we can't thank you enough. I mean, we've got so much joy and happiness. Hopefully we sent out some, but we received it back tonight. The calls tonight were just unbelievable. I mean, and the calls, they came in right until 12 o'clock.
Yeah.
It was 9 to 12, 3 hours. I said to Bill, we can't do that last hour.
Morgan, we only signed up for 2 hours tonight.
Well, look who successfully did 3.
Yeah.
The 2 of you.
Well, you know what you did? You brought out the best in us tonight.
Well, thank you. And any part of that you're giving me credit for, I'll say thank you. But you guys are the best. And don't stop doing what you're doing, okay?
We never will. You know, it's a love affair. To play music, and, all the music is notes on a piece of paper. But in our hands, we are fortunate enough to be able to make the music come alive. And that's really the greatest gift of all, is to take those notes and make that music have a life of its own.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And hello, Mrs. Winiker, listening in the other room. And I'm going to say to all 3 of you,
listen, happy New Year to you. Happy and healthy. And we'll see you very soon.
You got it. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
All right. And quickly, I want to tell you next week, Chet from Vintage T-Shirts, Big Elvis, and Stephen J. Rubin, author of books on Twilight Zone and James Bond. Thank you, Andrew. Thank you, Nancy. And thank you, BZ audience. Can't do it without you. Hope everybody has a healthy and happy 2022. Time for these words. Bye, Boston.